worth it. All right, so I'm not in the dating scene. I don't date. I don't get phone calls. I don't go visit anyone. I don't sleep with anyone. I don't do any of those things. But kind of miss, hanging around some good folk. You miss making love. You miss talking to people and, hugs and kisses and going out to eat. You just miss it. You know what I'm saying? You miss it. Your body miss it because you were not meant to be alone, believe that or not. Plus, when men, when men start dating females, all depends on what kind of man you are. But well, it doesn't matter what kind of man you are. It usually drives you to do better. In most cases, it drives you to start including other elements in your life that may make you look better. Getting your hair cut, you know what I'm saying, often. You know what I'm saying? You start dressing differently, you know. You start looking for better jobs or a job. Um, you hit the gym or you drop down and start knocking out push ups. You be like, you know what I'm saying? Even if she doesn't ask you to. I mean, if she met you skinny, she might like skinny dudes, but the problem is other dudes. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna see the fact that you got a female, and they're just gonna want her. That's all that's to it. They're gonna want to take her from you just to prove that they can, or they're just gonna want to try to sleep with her just to some male dominance. Like, yo, I knocked her off, or the ex might come out of nowhere and say, I hit it first, or some ridiculousness like that, or whatever. It's hard to find a virgin, so somebody hit yours first too. But it usually tells the man to improve, and if you go all the way in and you're on the dating scene, not necessarily you've picked a particular woman to impress, but you just want to be an impressive person, then and you have the finances, you really tighten your whole game up, get yourself a different car. You start, you might get a degree, or you might, just things to just make you climb up, that hill. You might change the job that you're at and say, you know what, I've been a mechanic and I love being a mechanic, but I've been a mechanic for somebody else. It's time that I open up my own garage. And you start looking into that, and, and then you start pouring your money into, buying yourself a garage. And, next thing you know, within a year or so, you got your own garage going, you know what I'm saying? So you're doing that part time, you're still knocking out your regular job. Next thing you know, you start getting customers until your part time becomes full time, and you're like, you know, Dave John, it was, thank you for allowing me to, work here. But I got my own garage going on, and it's doing pretty good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Next thing you know, you got yourself some employees, and you're doing good. You know what I'm saying? So you decide to open up another shop, or promote something else that's in your life. Start a YouTube channel that's talking about mechanics and cars to buy, or just do that. Become a surveyor and somebody with a professional opinion and get into stuff like that. I'm just saying, all that brings revenue to you, and when that does, it tightens up your whole game. So there's some good aspects of dating. Of course, what comes with that is trouble. Women can cause you severe problems. Severe problems that are so bad that you you become distant from dating. You become soured. You don't want to do it anymore. You're tired. You think every woman out there is like that, and it's just not worth doing it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I just, wow. LeBron James just went to Brooklyn. But yeah, so you're like, no, I'm not doing this. Did you buy this from Punky? Did you buy this from Punky? I don't know. Yes. No. I don't know who Punky is. Anyway, so there are advantages and disadvantages to dating, and some of you who are still young are, still deep in the game of the dating game. Some of you men are getting out of the dating game because, once you hit your 40s, you're finding that, for one, you're attracted to younger women. So your ideal woman is in between 25 and 32 or something like that. She can still have a child. She usually has a job. You know what I'm saying? She's already been to some of the show. She might even have a child herself or two. But she's still young enough for you to have a child with. So for you to have a family. Plus, her two children aren't exactly the worst thing in the world because they might be young enough to where they can attach to you and you guys can actually have a great relationship. And you can call them your kids. You can still father them. And, so when hit 60, 70, they don't mind helping you out because you won't be able to move around as much. So sometimes that's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? If you can afford them, you might take on her little boy, her little girl, and especially if she has two little boys, then you would be all in. Like, yeah, okay, you got two little boys because you know that you need more of these, need more hands around the house, and they can just move things easier than girls can. So when they become teenagers, you can have them out there doing a lot of lifting that you just wouldn't want a female to do, even though females can do these things. You just feel comfortable having boys do it. Some females like getting up under the car and fixing things. My mom used to be one of those people. She knew all about brakes and engines and transmissions and all that kind of stuff, so there's nothing wrong with it. But there's just some things that men would rather have women do, and men would, and it just is what it is. But if you have two girls, and those two girls, are interested in those things, then okay, fine, because the grass still needs cut. The You know what I'm saying? There might be some other arduous things around the house, and if you have two females that are like, we're gonna take these tasks on and get them done, and you're like, ladies, yes, go for it. Get out there and do that thing, and get that work done because me and your mom are getting older, and we just need a little help now that we can't get this stuff done as much as we used to, and then young ladies will be here for you. So nothing wrong with that. Um, it doesn't always work out so picturesque. For my dad, it did not work out that way. He raised a bunch of kids and they don't want nothing to do with him. So, you know, he was a good father to them. And they just left him to die. So it is what it is. And the wife left him. So it's just terrible, you know. But, so yeah, so some dating. There's all kind of organizations out there now, and I can't say they're well, they're somewhat organizations. People are incels. You got people who are MGTOW, uh, meaning men going their own way. They just don't want to be bothered with women at all. You have the incels are just guys who just. Yeah, let me look up the acronym. Let me take exactly what incel means. Because these guys are a little. They're. I mean, they've caused some big problems recently. Big, big problems. Okay, let me ask Siri. Siri, what is an incel?
Here's some information.
No, it's giving me the wrong thing. I might be spelling it wrong. But anyway, so incels, the younger men kind of flipping out over dating, and the MGTOW is the kind of the older, middle-aged guys and guys my age saying we don't want nothing to do with women. We're just tired. So on and so forth. And then you have the men, older men who have money, or just men who have money, deciding, we're going to be polygamous. We're going to be. Listen, we're just open. Listen. There's going to be more than one of you, and if you don't like that, then move on. But if you're okay with that, then stay. Let's have some babies. Let's raise a village. So you have thruples out there. You've already had, in some parts of the country where they have a lot of sister wives. Like one guy's got 4 wives, and each of the wives live separate from each other, and he has children by all of them. And this is a white guy, by the way. So you have that going on, and now you have a lot of African Americans who are like Hebrew Israelites, and they have they're starting to do the whole throuple thing, you know, and what's really interesting is everybody thinks the woman's going to freak out, but what you're finding is the woman is actually the one who's promoting it. Uh, so, so it's a hard way to go sometimes because they're inviting another woman into the house to have sex with their husband and stay there. Like, in some cases, the woman is also saying, "Well, I want to have sex with her too," and like this is how we live. And if you don't live according to these rules, go ahead and get out. So it's a lot more than just being freaky. You know what I'm saying? And some of these women already have children, so you're inviting their children into your house. So for the guy, he's raising somebody else's children. Like I said, that's not all the way a bad thing, but it can be difficult because a kid may not respect you, and the mother may love you, but if the child doesn't respect you, then how do you raise a child that doesn't like you? So you have that issue, and you have the if the two females fall out, and let's just say you fell in love with the new female, so then what do you do? We've seen where the wife was like, "Yeah, I'm all for it," and then once all these females came out of the woodwork and was and the the husband was like, "Okay, these are all going to be my wives," and he has a baby by her, and she's like, "I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to be. I don't want to have all these women around." Once she had that baby, everything changed. She's like, "I don't want all these females around my baby," and that's not such a bad thing, because females don't always love your child. Okay, let's just face that. And so I want to go ahead and just be me and you, but the guy is already attached. He's already attached to these other females. This is how he was before he met you. He just married you because he he thought you were worth marrying. You're listening. Very interesting. Well, thank you. So, so now you have a situation where the female, the matriarch, as it would be, JB Money, yeah, you have the female, the matriarch, as it would be, who is now trying to use a span of control. And she's trying to say that the husband who had this freedom, so to speak, to go out and just, not even go out. Actually, they were coming to him and sleep with these women and possibly have children by these women because that was his lifestyle before her. Now she's like, no, I don't want this to happen. And in other cases, the woman was just like, well, I don't like the other woman. I don't, and sometimes they don't like the other woman simply because of what somebody else is saying. There's a third party saying this or, something like that, so then you have that issue. But the real numbers and the real truth of it all that goes way past anybody's feelings and what anybody thinks, numbers are not going to lie to you. The real numbers advocate that the majority of women, especially in the Black community, will not be married. They will be engaged, they will and break off engagements, and they will not be married. They will, live alone. And a lot of these women in their 20s don't know this reality. And they don't take these warnings and heed these warnings. And then you have the fact that, Black men are, being taken away from them every day by one extreme or another. So when these women finally look at this at the age of 30, they go, I need someone. And then they're in desperate mode. And this is why you see the majority of women who are on these social media outlets, when you look at them, they're in between like 27 and 35. They're in between the age where they should be married and have a family. When you look at it, the majority of women who are on these social media, when you look at them, you can just look at her and tell that woman's around 25, in between 25 and 35. And she's shaking her tail feather. You even have the older chicks coming out now, and they're getting on social media, stripping down to almost nothing and showing what they have, because the game has changed. And every second that goes by, there are more women being born. There's always somebody younger than you out there. There's always a female who's willing to go the distance that you won't. There's females now who are saying, I will do all of this for you. They're like, I told you, you guys know that I like to use myself as an example. And I've told this story before, but I was, driving, coming home, about a year or so ago, and a woman saw me and her and her friend, and the driver, who wasn't bad looking, just looked at me and she was just like, are you thirsty? And I looked again, and I rolled my window down and I said, what? She said, are you thirsty? I was like, yeah, because I was drinking some Canada Dry, and she was like, I got something you can drink. And I was like, nah, I'm good. But she was a cute little chocolate sister, but the look on her friend's face made me think, y'all looking to rob somebody. You know what I mean? So I just peeled off because I ain't want nothing to do with it. But on a, you know what I'm saying? She might have been for real. And the thing about it is the chocolate sister was for real. I could tell she was like, yo, bro, come on now. I'm chocolate, you're chocolate. You know what I'm saying? I got the ill nana over here. You come on, let's go all the way. Let's skip right past the dating. Let's just get past all that. You need some loving, I got some loving. Let's get to this part right here. You know what I'm saying? And just recently, the same thing happened to me. But I think that girl was on something else. But I'm just saying, that girl was trying to convince me to get into bed with her. Like, let's go. This just happened to me a month ago. She's like, she was like, buddy, what are we doing? Yeah, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So the females are looking at the numbers and they're looking at how men are curving them too. And these are straight men. These are not gay men because that population is growing too. But we're talking about men who are dating. They're looking at how men are curving them. And they're just like, I'm a whole snack out here. Why am I being curved? If you go on YouTube, you'll see constant videos of this. Women complaining that men aren't talking to them. Men are afraid of them. Men are just walking away. They don't want nothing to do with them. They won't associate with them. They don't want to come nowhere near them. That's because women have caused a lot of problems. And these problems have let men know that if you want to stay out of jail, if you don't want to get shot at, if you don't want to get lied on, if you don't want to get beat up, then don't date these women. Listen, here you can look on Instagram and look at certain women. And when I look at these certain women, I already know if I dated that woman, I'm fighting somebody every day. It's just not worth it. Like some of these women will get you beat up and knocked off the planet. Some of these women will get you killed. If you date them, you don't have to do nothing but be like, this is my woman. Because some brother out there is going to want her and want her right now. And he's going to look at you and be highly jealous, Nipsey Hussle. And they're going to see all that you're doing. And they're going to take you off this planet. If I can't have her, you can't either. If you're shining, you pulling up in the new something, you know what I'm saying? Your swag is just all the way turned up and you getting all this female attention, there are males who are going to come after you and try to remove you from the planet. And that's just that. You got a girl with a big old booty, don't sport her around town. Somebody's going to shoot you. I'm telling you now, keep that booty keep that mug hidden. Hey Tom, because of your age, have you been catching a lot of heat for not being married or having children? Just wondering. That is a good question. Okay, so no, I have not been. Okay, so my situation is kind of unique. Well, I ain't gonna say that because there are a lot of men who are finding out are like me. My situation, I choose not to be, I choose not to date. I choose not to go to certain dating elements. I choose not to, just to be out there just that much to where I'm super, super, super available to women. So I don't really have people coming at me and saying things like that, Not even when the guys talk to me, if they got women and all this other stuff, I'm like, okay, cool. And females definitely haven't said anything to me. Why don't you have a woman and yada, 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 and nobody's really came at me. And I'm glad of that because, and I do have a child. She's like 30 now. We don't talk, and that's cool with me. But I think that a lot of females are finding out that men, especially when you get close to my age, don't want to be bothered. Like, we want to be bothered for like 5 minutes. Like, when I go and sell a refrigerator, I wish I had a woman for about maybe 10 minutes. And then I don't want to talk to her no more. And it sounds cruel, but it's safe. I wish I could be in love. I wish I could just be wholeheartedly my 100% self, goofy, happy, angry, whatever it is. I wish I could be who I am around today's black woman. But that is asking to get cheated on and left. There is no scenario where the man can be just perfectly himself and a woman has not left him. I mean, even the rich dudes are finding this out. They're like, damn, I gave you everything. I mean, Steph Curry gave his woman everything and she still wanted attention from other men. There is no perfect situation. Your woman is always going to want another D some kind of way. She's going to think about it. She may not go out and do it, but it is the truth. And that's just it. That's the down and dirty to it all. You can put the magic D on a woman in a heartbeat and she could be all into you. That's going to wear out. Eventually she'll get bored of it. And you might be married to her. She's not going to tell you, but you'll see, because she'll start doing different things. She'll start dressing differently. All that sexy underwear she used to wear, you ain't seen that in months. She'll start saying that, something's wrong with her and she's sick, or she'll become a liability. Truth. She'll become a liability to you. And you'll be like, what am I doing here? I mean, you're not. You're frumping around the house in the same pajamas you've been wearing for a whole week. You stink. Your hair ain't did nothing. You don't even try to look attractive. And this triggers a man to say, you know what? I'm still young. I'm still virile. You may be my wife, but you don't tighten up your game. I'm just going to leave you. And the courts are going to be on my side. And you just let her know, listen, tighten your game up, because what you're doing is you're setting this marriage up to fail. Tighten it up. Let's go out. Let's go do something. We need to go do something. Here, I'll spend some money so we can go do something. And that works for about a week and a half, and then she's back to running around looking like she doesn't care. You already know that is no longer your wife. There's a good chance somebody else is knocking her off. She no longer cares. She doesn't care about you. And that's it. And you're not going to get that back no matter what you do. That's it. She just doesn't care. She's smart-mouthing you. She's got every excuse in the book. I'm married, and I can agree with that man. Love her, but yes, women are always wanting things. It's very hard to satisfy them. What you cannot do. See, that's where your mistake is. Excuse me. Let me reframe that. That can be a mistake, because I'm not saying you're making any mistakes. I'm saying it could be a mistake to try to satisfy your woman 100%. Your ring is a covenant between you, God, and the country, and your woman. But you have to understand that covenant can be broken by that woman or by you. No matter how much money you make. But don't. I've never been married, so I can only give you so much advice. But I've had a lot of women around me. And I can tell you right now, do not put everything into trying to satisfy your wife. Okay, this one guy I knew, young guy I knew, worked with him for one day, right? And he was talking about how he has a girlfriend. And he really loves his girlfriend and all this other stuff, but he was just having some difficulties with her. And I said, listen, go home, sit on the couch with your woman, watch a show, and then just throw your tongue down her throat with no warning. Just kiss her, and I mean, like, I ain't talking about that Love Jones type of kiss. I mean, just get in her. You know what I'm saying? Get at her right there. Boom, bam. And then turn around and act like nothing happened. And keep watching your show and don't say anything no matter what she says. She's going to be like, she's gonna be in a little bit of shock, like, where'd that come from? My man called me the next day. He said, Tone, I did exactly what you said, and that woman changed. She started asking me, did I want breakfast? She got up early in the morning, made me breakfast, asked me, did I want anything? That it just changed. She just saw something in me that, I was like, yeah, because you didn't care. You was like, come here. You're in my house. You're in my house. Come here. Slapping that ass. I don't have time for your nonsense. Yeah, 100%, coach. Like, you gotta slap that ass sometime, just out of no. Like, I saw this TikTok where this man, his woman was looking in the fridge, and he saw that ass. I mean, she's thick. And he walked past, and he was like, psh, and she turned around like, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Well, he kept walking, and then he later on that day, since she barked at him, she was all bent over in the fridge again, wanting him to tap that ass, and he just walked past her like he ain't see her, and she turned around and started fussing at him. Sometimes you just gotta do stuff, bro. Listen, I didn't play with none of my females. I did not play with none of them. None of them. But it's almost like like running. Like when you run so fast, you're trying to keep that speed. When you open those gates on your woman, bro, she's gonna want some more of that. She go, oh, it's like that up in here. Yeah, but sometimes you just gotta bend your girl over and just get that ass, bro. I'm serious. Sometimes you just gotta pull her by her hair and let her know what the deal is. Don't even say nothing to her. You know what I'm saying? Let her know, cause she's trying to grow a pair of balls in your house. Be like, oh no, I'm about to handle you. And just, knock her off. Stop talking all that lovey-dovey to her. Nigga, she thinks she think you weak. This happens where your girl is, you sleeping with her, you getting it in, and she's looking off to the side like you ain't nothing. You grab her by her damn hair and her neck, and then them things have changed. Like, where do you think you're at? You don't have to be here. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I just not. You ain't gotta be here. You could be somewhere. I could be somewhere else, giving somebody else that, I could be somewhere else putting my time in, and somebody appreciate it, and then they don't straighten up until they actually see the competition. Some firm and fully packed, 5 years younger than them, tossing the box at you. Like, yeah, hey, catch this box. Nah, I'm trying to tell you, it's a whole. Bro, I done been in some of these houses of these women, like, delivering refrigerators. I had this one chick, man, and she's built like a track star. And when she wanted to buy a stove, I brought the stove. She was looking at the stove, so I was like, "Baby, are you all right? You need a hug?" She was just like, "Yeah, bro." Gave me like the biggest hug. You know what I'm saying? She gave me one of them arms over your shoulder with the head all in. Oh my God. I was just like, oh, something. She's like, yeah, he won't help me do this. And she just complaining about him, yada, yada, yada. Bro, I could have took that girl if I wanted to. I didn't want her though. I could have took her right there and then. I'm just saying, bro, if you doing all that you can do and you can't do no more, don't do no more. Like, you want to catch an attitude and I'm trying my best? You know how many women would love to have me? She may get to running out the mouth, and you know how many men would want to have you? No, I don't, actually. Tell me how many men want to have you. They're going to want to keep you. They're going to want you just like this, because this is what you're going to do to them. You're going to smile in their face, you're going to show them some TNA, and then when it's all over, you're going to run around the house like this with an attitude. How many men are going to put up with you? constantly. Yeah, they're gonna screw you. You can get plenty of men to come over here and screw you. That's not the issue. How many men are gonna keep you while you're acting like this, and they're gonna put up with you? You're gonna get left. That's what's gonna happen to you. You're going to get left. Tighten your game up. Because I don't need this. I don't have to be here. I don't have to be here. And if she gets to talk and jump because you got children, you'd be like, okay, well, let's see what the court says. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to sit up here and threaten me with. Like, you're not going to do that because you're the one who's doing this. I'm a good father. I'm holding it down. I got a good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to go there. Because even if I leave you, you're going to go out and get somebody. Yeah, but once they see what you really are, they're going to leave you again. And the cycle's just going to continue and continue. And you're going to get older. I'm still valuable. How valuable are you at 45? I mean, just think about it. Are you getting more valuable at 45 in children or less valuable? Because me, I'm getting more valuable. You're going to find out that there are younger females who are coming after you. There are females coming after you you can't even say hello to. You can't. You can't say nothing. You got some fresh 16, 17-year-olders who are hawking you down. And you're like, there's no way I'm about to do this. But thank you. Oh, it's real out here. It's real out here. And don't be nowhere where you have to work around teenage girls. Oh, you'll see how real it really is. That's why I don't want any job that has anything to do with college girls, yeah. High school, no. I'm not doing that. College, 100%. I'll work around them. They're a headache too, but at least they're legal. High school, just a ball of hormones. You don't want nothing to do with that. You know, you just remind your woman like, shoot, I got a good job, I make good money, I'm a good man, I'm a good loving man. Okay, keep it up. Keep it up. There's a good chance if she's acting like that and arguing you down, she already has somebody else. You might as well just go ahead and trade phones and be like, let me see your phone. Because this is just too much. I know you have somebody else. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. And you'll eventually find out who it is, and you'll be like, okay, I knew you had somebody else. I'm going to go ahead and leave you. That's it. And I'm taking my kid. So I'm saying that, like, I don't play with no female that I deal with. I don't put up with none of their stuff. I don't. You get the ones that want to yell and scream and all that. I just don't come back. Because if I get to yelling and screaming, there's going to be a problem. You know, I know women who are like that. They yell at you and I'll be like, why are you yelling? What happened? Why are you yelling at me? I don't usually go back. Not unless there's just some benefit, but I don't keep them. I do not keep those women. You know, the ones who want to fight with you and want to try to be the man, I do not keep that. Then you get the soft chick who, you know, she's soft, but she's sneaky. Once I find out what the deal is, I'm like, I'll let her know, listen, I know what you're doing. I know you got other men, you know, you're leaving my house and you're going over there to get more D. I know what you're doing, so all the lovey-doveyness I was giving you, I'm not doing that no more. You can still come over here, but all that love and sweet, talking about your children and just being so sweet to you and singing and cooking and all that stuff I used to do, I'm not doing that no more. But I got love for you. You're just a hoe. So I'm not going to put all this effort into a hoe because I know you're not going to stay here. What I'm saying, if you're married and your woman is not holding up her end of the deal, start off doing the good thing, and with the sit down and the talk, maybe doing some, maybe being more into it, asking her what she wants, if she wants anything. If it's something ridiculous, then you know that you can't fulfill that. And because you can't fulfill that, you will never ever satisfy that woman. And she's letting you know you won't. I want to go to Cancun for 30 days. Just a little vacation. I want you to buy me, or she tries to put you in debt. Like, I want you to get me the biggest Birkin bag ever. You're just like, okay, all right, I know what it is. I know what it is. You have somebody else. Yeah, you do, because you know I can't afford this. You know what I have in my bank account. You have another man. You know? If she makes you feel inadequate, listen, I've had women make me feel inadequate before, like I wasn't enough. They go get some D and say, oh, he was, he did all that, and then come back to you. And I'm just like, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? But before I would listen to it and be like, damn, I'm not swinging off chandeliers. And you're here talking about some dude you were swinging off chandeliers with. But it was eating at me. And now I'm to the point where I can't, you better not ever say nothing like, what? I kick a woman out so quick. What? Yeah, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. Go find a chandelier guy. You gotta go. Because I've been alone for so long, I don't need to put up with your nonsense. I'm not putting up with your lies, your shifty eyes. I don't need you. I'm doing fine by myself. I do not need you. There is no need here. It was just a want. I wanted to feel on some tits or something, and there you were. But, you're not worth it. You're toxic as hell. Ease on out the door. Bye. You don't have to come back. Lose my number. I'm good. But if you got a wife, you just can't do it that way. But you can still warn her. Even the Bible talks about that. How women, how they should act towards their husband. If they start acting a certain way where it's turning their husband off completely, then, the Bible says you're setting yourself up for prostitution, which means he's going to find somebody else to bust a nut in. You're setting yourself up for prostitution. He's going to find a prostitute who's going to be sweet to him for all of 10 minutes, and that's who he's going to inject himself in. And because when he comes home, you're a mess. You look a mess. You go to the bathroom with the door wide open. Nobody want to see that. You say all kind of gross things. You do these stupid pranks that turn men completely off. You don't shower. Your underarms smell like dead, a dead rat up under there. You're just all type of just unsavory. But because we got 3 kids, you think I'm gonna put up with it? Nope. Look, clean up your act. Here's some new clothes. Here's some new underwear. Here's some new whatever. Here's some new shoes. Here's all this stuff. Clean it up. Clean your act up. Do something. Once you put forth your effort and that woman doesn't put in any more effort, she has another man. Or 2. So it's just a warning. Good chance your woman is dating other men. And even if she isn't, she doesn't want you to stay. She's just not into you anymore. But if you got one of those women who's just going through a hard time, she got sick or something like that, that's different. Then you gotta love on that woman. She just got sick. She couldn't help it. She got sick. People get sick. So, you don't want to leave somebody like that, but people do.